Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for another review from the Trick or Treat Studios Michael Myers figure line. We have Halloween Part 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, the 1/6 scale figure. Massive thanks to madaboutHorror.co.uk for such an amazing service, getting this here so quick, packaging it up so well. Absolutely the best folks to deal with when it comes to anything horror related. I'll leave a link to their store in the description underneath the review here, so make sure you check out Mad About Horror. As usual with the Trick or Treat Studios Michael Myers 1/6 scale figures, we have beautiful packaging, absolutely gorgeous artwork, the film poster on the front of the box, and then on the side here, very nicely done. And on the back, a cool promotional shot from the film, very creepy looking mask from Part 5. Credits, the folks involved: portrait sculpture by Justin Mabry, additional sculpting by Alex Ray, clothing design by Tanila from Tanila's Customs. Very nice. Very collector friendly. You could display it like this. You got the nice magnet flap on the front. More artwork inside. Just a small bit of text here at the bottom. A quote from the movie: "I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart I knew that hell would not have him." And there he is, ready to be unleashed into my collection. Right, so I tend to open mine from the bottom. Take it out just like that. Let's see. No. He is a nice weighty figure, good weight to him. Nice protective plastic on the boots and the hands and the sculpt. And a freaky looking mask, looking at you, looking at your soul, reaching for you. Look at that. So I think I have to basically get the collar up inside the mask, so I'll do that in a minute. I'll do that for you. But there he is. Very nice. So here he is out of the packaging. He comes with the same accessories that came with the Part 4 version. The burnt hand for holding the knife, and the knife itself, which is plastic but nicely done. It does look very nice. I do like this knife. No stand again, but I expected that at this point. Hopefully they'll start including those in future releases. And I've stuffed the collar up inside the neck. I believe that's how that should be. And yeah, it's a pretty intimidating looking piece. I do like the kind of painted extra strands of hair around the back of the ear going down the neckline there. Really nicely done. Does look quite convincing from regular viewing distance. So interested to see the differences between this version and Part 4 when it comes to the coveralls. They look very similar to the Part 4 coveralls, but I'll bring that figure out in a little while and we'll get a little comparison between the two. But let's just focus on the Myers of the hour here. Got him in a kind of coming for you pose. Everything's looking really good. Very nice. Balance as well. Alright, now I've got the figure on a rotating base, and I've just borrowed a generic kind of stand just to keep him balanced. And I'm going to take a look at the coveralls as he comes round. Really nice double stitching, pretty much all over the piece. And it's not too hard to get the collar tucked underneath the mask for that more movie accurate kind of look. And you've got the elastic around the waist. Really good fit. And a really high quality look and feel to them. So another job well done on another Michael Myers figure, using Tanila's Customs blueprints. Carried over very well to the mass-produced line. There seems to be a slightly different tone of colour. I mean, these coveralls seem to be very similar to the H4 coveralls but maybe a bit more grey. So I'll bring the H4 figure over later and we can get a look at the two side by side. But I really do like the kind of grey tone that these ones have. I think it looks really good. Now I'll get a nice look at the head sculpt as it comes around. Again, we have just a kind of sculpted black, kind of to give the illusion of just a black kind of void inside the mask. Like I said in the Halloween 4 review, I probably would have preferred just a hollow head. I know you'd need to, it can't be completely hollow because the head has to attach to the neck, but at least kind of behind the eye holes, just have it be a void of just space that would kind of create this look naturally. But it's not, you know, no pun intended, an eyesore to look at. You know, it's, I get what they're trying to do. I mean, I'm pretty sure in part 4 or maybe even part 5 he was probably wearing some kind of black material over his eyes to kind of give this look. I mean, I've done that myself sometimes in the early days, doing worn footage with actual life-size Michael Myers masks. I just used to kind of put a black thin kind of material over my head under the mask so that you couldn't see my eyes. So I get what they're going for, and if you shine the light from above, it's a much more kind of movie accurate kind of look. I mean, if I turn this one off and then we bring this light over and we just shine it from above, and as I showed you with the part 4, it instantly makes things look more movie accurate, makes the hair look better, makes the mask look more scary, and those sculpted kind of black holes where the eyes are, it doesn't jump out at you so much. I'll just let that come around. Check that out here. Nice texture to the mask as well. I like the kind of rough texture that it has. And that kind of line that's going over the bridge of his nose, apparently that is accurate to the film. And there's folks out there who would really know their stuff when it comes to part 5. I mean, I'm no expert, but I do know a fair bit about the 78 movie and the 2018 movie. Not so much with part 4 and 5 here, but to my eyes it looks pretty damn accurate to the film. I think they did a great job with that, you know, painted the flicks of hair. That's very effective. The hair is really nicely sculpted, as you can see. Very well done. So we're 3 figures in now from Trick or Treat Studios with the 1/6 scale Michael Myers line. We've had the 1978, the part 4, and now here the part 5, and soon to be released, I guess about 3 to 4 weeks, will be the 2018 version. So it's time now, I think, for, well, let's call that the first wave. Once 2018 Myers comes along, that'll be wave 1. At least that's the way I kind of look at it. And then hopefully wave 2 might see Dick Warlock part 2 Myers, maybe a H2O Myers, maybe the resurrection version, maybe Curse of Michael Myers from part 6, and then later on, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some Rob Zombie action. But by then, I really do hope they start incorporating a double bend into the elbow, because if there's ever a character that you would expect a double bend to be incorporated into the body so that you could pull off the iconic poses that you're used to seeing that character do, it's Michael Myers. You need the double bend in the elbow, and I really am going to miss it for this 2018 version, because there's so much promotional artwork or imagery from the 2018 film before it was released and during and after of Michael Myers holding the kitchen knife right up to his mask. There's that famous front cover now to a magazine where he was holding the knife so close up to his face that it was covering one of his eyes. It's a very cool image, but you probably won't be able to pull something like that off with these bodies because of the lack of a double bend in the elbow. So don't get me wrong, Trick or Treat have done an amazing job so far. I mean, it was very brave of them to come out with their first 1/6 scale figure and have it be the 78 Myers, something that is really scrutinized over by the community, and they did a great job with that. Very proud of them, even though I've got no association with Trick or Treat themselves. I do feel this kind of sense of pride, like, wow, you know, they came out and they nailed it first time, right out of the gate, came out swinging. So very impressive stuff. But it is time now, 3 figures in, to start adjusting some of the things that just keep coming up in reviews. Everyone says they would like a stand with these figures, and that's true. collectors want to know when they come back home from work, or when they come back in and go into their room where the collection is, and they don't want to find the Myers figure on the floor from falling off the shelf, or with his head pressed up against the glass door of your Detolf cabinet because he's fallen over in there. So it's time to start thinking about including a stand and getting the double bend elbow incorporated into these bodies for future releases. Other than that, I got very little to complain about. I think they've been doing a very good job. Now, I've just brought the Part 4 figure into the equation just to get a look at the comparison here between the two coveralls. Now, basically they're stitched and designed the exact same way as each other. It's just a difference in colour, really. Obviously, Part 4 has more of a blue tone, the Part 5 here more of a charcoal grey. And obviously, for the more movie-accurate look to this film, I've had to tuck the collar up into the neck of the head sculpt. But I remember when I reviewed the Part 4 figure, I was curious to know, when all was said and done and I'd reviewed Part 5, which one of these two I would prefer. And I suspected at the time it was going to be the Part 4, and I still think that's the case. I do prefer the Part 4 figure. Just everything about it, really. The mask, the box is absolutely stunning. This box is great too, but I prefer just no distractions, just Michael Myers. Obviously, you got Danielle Harris on the box there. She was great in the movie, considering her age, and obviously she was, came back for the Rob Zombie movies later on. Got absolutely minced by Myers, unfortunately. Pretty damn harsh what happened to her. But yeah, I didn't mention in the review for the Part 4. Seems pretty obvious looking at him, but it wasn't until someone mentioned it in the comments I was like, oh yeah, he got sideburns on this one. And none of the Michael Myers heads I've ever had in my collection have ever had sideburns before. So that's the first, and it's kind of different. So that's kind of nice to have in the collection. I mean, I'm still, more of a fan of the non-sideburn look. That's the Michael Myers we know and love, but it is interesting to see one with sideburns for a change. Can't help but wonder how much more, of a 78 vibe we get from this one if it didn't have the sideburns, because there are certain angles like that angle there where you do get quite a strong 78 vibe from him. The side profile there like that. So yeah, even the movies as well, I prefer Part 4 from what I've seen to Part 5. I think they really did a good job at nailing the October atmosphere in the fourth movie. I'd go with Part 4 if I was only going to get one of them. But the Part 5 figure definitely has a creepy look to it. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely quite an intimidating look. There's some great posability in that head. Look how much of a head tilt you can get. That's crazy. I'll bring in the 78, but bearing in mind I have done some work on my 78 figure, so he will have different coveralls and a repainted head. So I'll bring him in now just so we can get a look at all three of them together. It'd be nice to see all three boxes as well. Alright, so here is my 1978 Michael Myers figure, the Boogeyman. Now, I've covered this extensively on the channel, so I'm sure most of you already know, but I have changed and modified quite a lot of things here with the 78 figure. He's no longer... the only thing that remains from the Trick or Treat Studios figure is really the head sculpt, but I have repainted that. I painted it white and then weathered it and added the Shatner mask skin tone coming through on the neck and around the jawline, and some weathering on the tip of the nose and the lips and stuff like that. It's really taking it to another level now, and we've had the body swap with the Hot Toys Bruce Banner body, which has the double bend in the elbow to be able to pull off a pose like this, which is your standard iconic Michael Myers pose. You want to be able to do something like this, so you really do need that double bend. And we also have the incredible Yunsil final run coveralls, and it's interesting to see this because usually I question myself, am I really seeing a hint of green in these charcoal grey coveralls? And now that I'm seeing them next to straight up charcoal grey and blue, it's pretty obvious that yes, there is a very subtle kind of green to these charcoal grey Yunsil final run coveralls. It's about as movie accurate as it gets. It's amazing. And you've got the Shadow Fergo knife, custom made. That's Shadow Fergo on Instagram. It's real metal and wood. It's sharp as hell. I've cut myself a number of times with these knives, and I never, it never bothers me because I just think, whoa, I've literally just been stabbed by my Michael Myers figure, which seems quite appropriate. But be careful, folks, if you are going to venture into the custom knife world, because some of them, like the Shadow Fergo knives, are very sharp, and rightly so, they should be. So there it is. I'm afraid I don't have a stock 78 Myers figure anymore to show you as a comparison between these two. I was intending to keep one of them stock, but lockdown happened again. I'm a bit of a tweaker, an itchy, creative type person, and I end up painting things when I get bored, or modifying things and stuff. But you know, I mean, the results are worth it, I think. So unfortunately, can't show you a stock 78 right now, but that is what I've been striving for here, and I'm really happy with the results, and I think this one has turned out very, very well. But I mean, the base figure was fantastic as it was, and the head sculpt, can't applaud it enough. Well, folks, that's pretty much it. It's a really good representation of Michael Myers from this particular film. Trick or Treat Studios did another amazing job. I can definitely recommend it to all the Myers fans out there, especially if you're a Halloween 5 fan. You finally got a decent Halloween 5 figure for your collection. Massive shout out again to the folks over at Mad About Horror for such a great service. Definitely recommend you jump on over to their website at madabouthorror.co.uk. Check out all the good stuff they got on there. If you're a horror fan, they got you covered, especially if you're after some of these Trick or Treat Studios figures or the NECA stuff. They got it all on there. So thank you again to them for getting them here so safe and so fast. Really, really happy with the service. And I hope you've enjoyed this review, folks. Drop a like on it if you did, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Instagram at DKnight333. This has been the Trick or Treat Studios 1/6 scale Michael Myers from Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Great looking piece, folks. Don't forget to let us know what you think in the comments. Always good to hear from you. And should be doing a live stream tomorrow, so tune in for that. We'll talk about these figures if you want to join in, get involved. Until then, take it easy. See you soon. Bye-bye.